All right, we're back, everybody. Catch Elegant grooming himself, making sure he's looking sharp as always.
I'm not looking sharp today. I look a mess. Dear me.
I
I'm
always
terrible.
try to
You're looking
catch.
sharp today.
I always try to catch you at the most awkward moment possible, Elegant.
Yeah, I
Um,
know. Swigging my drink or something, leaning back
uh,
in the chair.
indeed, indeed. All
Go on.
right, so winners match. It's gonna be G5 versus Dodie on Neo Aztec. What do you think about that, Elegant?
I think it's going to be pretty sweet. I think that. I think it's going to be cool. I think that there's every chance now that I kind of chew it over, that we could see some kind of build order craziness, because I think there's every chance that Dota could go for a 2-gate, because it's a reverse ramp map and it's a 3-player map and he has 6 Zealot micro. It really could be on the cards.
Elegant, you are so right. It makes me happy. That was an excellent analysis right there. I don't know why I didn't even think of that. But yes, Dodie, of course, known for having very, very strong Zealot micro, as you said. Man, 2-gate Zealots. I hope G5's prepared for something like that. Even if he doesn't go 2-gate, just
I
his
hope he's not.
1-gate Zealots are pretty scary by themselves.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he's actually been streaming every now and then since he won that qualifier. So I've been watching him, and some pretty good micro from
Yeah.
that guy.
If there's ever a guy who can come back from a 1, 2, maybe even 3 Zealot disadvantage in the early game, it's Doty. His micro really, really does the trick. And yeah, there's a very good chance we're going to see something like that on this map. And G5 better be prepared for it, because 2-gate, when you're fighting against 2-gate, you need to know what you're going to do about it. You can't just kind of put it together. You need to have a very clear plan, especially against someone so accomplished.
Indeed, indeed. So, Elegant, I can't wait anymore. I don't want to do any more analysis. I want to see the game. How about you?
Yeah, I'm all about the game.
All right, here we go. And here we go into the game. In the bottom right position, as the blue Protoss, we have Mr. G5 himself. And at the 12 o'clock position, as the red Protoss, Mr. LRM Dodie. And by the way, I want to give a shout out to another old school Protoss who's in our chat. TT1 is watching. TT1, why you dodge TLS, bro?
Such a dodger. But there we go, we have it from himself. Brood War too hard. And I guess it is really tough to do something like that, to come back as a player who's been out for so long and compete against guys who play regularly. It's really, really difficult. Which is why we also love guys like G5, because they represent something noble and something great.
Yeah, TT1. Why can't you be more like G5?
Yeah,
God,
TT1.
God.
I'm actually like putting down a guy publicly here who I used to idolize a little bit when I was just a little nerdling and I was watching streams in the middle of the night on Team Liquid. TT1.
Dude, I have an awesome fan story, which
Go
is
on.
that like when I was a little nerdling, I don't think I'd even started casting yet, but I randomly ran into TT1 playing micro macro UMS on IC Cup or something. I don't know if anyone knows that, but basically one person has control of all the buildings and the workers, and the other player has control of all the units. So it's basically like a 2v2, but you just play one race, like one thing. And so one person can only micro, and the other person can basically only macro.
Yeah, I know.
And it was like me and TT1 on a team, just stomping these two guys constantly. It was awesome. He would just go macro and then make only dragoons, and be like, "Oh, TT1, what do I do? I got so many goons." Like, it's all right, just go for it. Oh man,
That's
it was
impressive
amazing.
greatness. Do you remember those times back then when you'd bump into a player like that and you'd just be a bit starstruck? It was so
Yeah,
cool.
it was crazy. And he had a cooler name too. He was Pan Cabal back then. TT1 Cabal is such a cooler name, man.
Yeah.
I like you
We've
more
got
when you were
opinions on
Pan
everything
Cabal.
today, haven't we? That's our opinion. You do you're basically your own man. We have a little bit of fun pro micro going down in the main base of Dota. And this, why you make me sad, Mr. Dota, we don't have any kind of Zealot action whatsoever. We have one Zealot. And we're probably going to have a second one as well. But the most we're going to see harassing is one, and that must be this.
Yep, indeed. And looks like, yeah, there's no way this guy's gonna catch the probe. Well, hopefully not. But that's all right. This mana pylon is kind of messing with my head, right? Or sorry, this anti-mana pylon rather. It's just like messing with my brain.
Yeah, you're not the only one. Look at those probes. They're confused every time. They've got such short-term memory. They're like, oh, going to mine. Oh my goodness, what's this? It's in the way. And then they go, all right, fine, I'll go around it. They go back to the minerals, and then they turn around with fresh minerals. They're like, what is this? It's in the way. And all the guys just sitting there in the nexus going, yeah, we built that. Watch them go. That's just mean. Look at all the poor little probes going. But yeah, that's a pretty poor pylon, which is strange because you'd have thought Dota would be pretty good at anti-mana pylons and things like that.
I just realized also that due to the layout of the minerals, Doty's mineral line has 2 mana pylon spots, and G5 says none. That seems a little bit unfair.
Yeah.
Did not realize slight positional imbalance. There you go.
Oh.
The more you know.
The more you know. The more you know, the more you realize how bad you are and how little you probably know.
Actually, I just realized I probably shouldn't have pointed that out because now Technics is going to be all like, ha! Told you guys you should rebalance the maps.
Oh god. There's always one, isn't there? There's
we heart you, Technics. We heart you.
Yeah. I was watching the that grudge match earlier. Technics causing a bit of a ruckus about maps there as well.
Really?
He's just got a thing. Yeah, because I won't go into too much detail right now, but for some reason in the rules, he was not in the rules, but he was told that he couldn't pick the same map that he'd just played on and lost on. And he was like, I want to play on that same map, and the rules don't say I can't, and I'm not going to play if I can't play on that map. I'm just going to walk over my game.
It's like so standard tournament play. You can't pick the same map twice.
I know, but he made a proper fuss about it.
Ah, Technics.
Yeah, so it happened. I'm pretty sure Bulgaria lost quite badly anyway.
Yeah. I don't think it was fair, because the Violet.ru had, like, you know, Gosus from other countries, too. I mean, it wasn't technically a nation war anyway, but...
It's the Russian mafia.
It should have just been Russian players, I feel like. That would have been better.
Russian community guys.
Especially because they got, like, Beyonzerg and Alfio and stuff, who were, like, just, like, really good also. It just felt a little bit unfair.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, isn't Alfio Italian?
Yep. So they had an Italian and a Spaniard being mercenary for the Russian mafia. Anyway, well, by the way, what we have on this game is we have some Reavers coming out for G5, and I don't know what Doty's doing because he's going expansion. There we go. I was wondering what he was using his money on. He was actually saving it for Nexus, so he's actually gone 2-gate expand with no obs. You see, I told you if G5 went DTs, he would have just got a build order win.
Yeah.
You see?
This is a soft counter though. This is a soft counter because Doty's going to have to micro very well. And keep superior positions. That's key. There are nice positions to defend outside the natural here on this map, which is very, very important. On some maps, you don't really have any particularly great position to defend outside your natural, but on this one you do. You have ramps to defend, like uphill ramps, and that's brilliant. You can defend from the top of the ramp, and that's lovely. So if Doty keeps pumping Dragoons, which he really needs to do, he's throwing down a 3rd gateway now, some decent timing, finally getting his Robo as well. But he needs to keep pumping Goons because he's going to need numbers on his side so that he can tank a few extra shots to take care of that Reaver.
Man, this is a cool, not mana pylon, spotting pylon on the left side. I just saw that probe. This pylon actually just deflected that probe. He didn't even need a unit. It like projected a little force field thing. The probe couldn't go through. He's like, oh, just makes a little sad meow, you know, when they die or something, and just like goes away.
It is like a meow, isn't it?
Yeah, probes meow, man. They're mechanical kittens. That's why I keep saying, you know, all these Terran players with their vultures killing probes, they're terrible people.
Killing kittens. Exactly.
I mean, they're just running around on jet bikes, you know, shooting grenades at mechanical kittens. I mean, who does that?
The last.
The psychopaths.
Terrible. Although, who's worse, the guy killing them or the guy who's making them mine?
Well, you know, you say making them mine, but maybe they like the taste of minerals, you know, so they like happily just take them back and forth. You know?
Exactly. They do it out of choice. They get a very, very fair wage.
Yeah.
You don't see that, but that all goes on in Io. We assure you their families are well taken care of. We now have the attack coming in from G5. He's going up the small ramp. Please tell me he knows the map.
Well, maybe he wants to actually, because he's got inferior goon numbers. So maybe he wants to prevent himself from getting like a bad arc against his opponent and just use the Reaver better.
That's actually very, very possible. That's a very, very good point indeed. Actually, yeah, that's quite smart by G5. In fact what he's doing. It looks like it may have been, but now he's going to go around and test the ground over here. But I don't think this is going to go so well. He'd need a slightly greater advantage in this. But he's going for it anyway. Doty Needs to be able to snipe that Reaver though, maybe just snipe the shuttle in order to kind of halt the advance for a little bit. Shuttle is a little bit low on shields, but not too bad. It's taken only a couple of shots so far, and Doty is producing well. He should just about have enough Dragoons with one more round, 3 more Dragoons coming out. I think he's going to have a really overwhelming advantage. G5 is going to have to do some superb micro to keep this Reaver alive, and really I think he's missed his window completely. Doty just calling this game really, really well, and that Reaver is done and dusted. Oh, he's going to land one more really nice shot, getting a lot of health for the Dragoons, but it's just not enough. Expansion right now for G5 is so far behind, and I think that in this case the build order just wasn't enough of an advance for him. He would have needed to kind of focus on harassment play a little bit more with that shuttle.
I mean, it was a combination of a lot of small things. I think good Dragoon control from Doty, and also really keeping up on his macro, going up to 5 gates right now.
Oh yeah.
Also,
yeah.
G5 lost a lot of time going to the small ramp, goofing around a bit, and then going all the way back around to the wide ramp.
It's true.
If he'd gone straight up the wide ramp, I was saying initially how maybe he didn't want to let his opponent get a good arc on him. But on the other hand, if he'd just gone straight away, he would have saved a lot of time, and Doty's goon production wouldn't have quite ramped up that much. So maybe he could have made some more headway. But I think combination of all these things allowed Doty to hold us, and now he's going for a big counterattack. Actually, this could really work well because there's no shuttle to protect this Reaver either. Looks like the probes are coming off, so Doty is going to back up for now. No need to press the issue and throw away his advantage.
Yeah, he got a real advantage here. Look at all those Dragoons. That is so many Dragoons, and there's one Reaver. I think he could actually take this right here. He's got such an overwhelming numbers advantage, and it looks like he may go leading in with a few Dragoons. He's got easily enough to break this. There are 2 Reavers in there though, and when 2 Reavers come in, it starts to get a little bit dicey, and that could be the timing which saves G5. Probes coming off the line again. Is Doty getting a bit ahead of himself? It looks weak, but it may not be in fact as weak as it seems. Nice micro from G5 to keep himself alive for a little bit longer at least, and Doty is repelled once again. Very, very nice right there, and that second Reaver coming just in the nick of time, but G5 is still only working off 2 gateways, and Doty's Dragoon superiority is only going to get greater from here on in. Look at that Dragoon count compared to G5's. We have 3 Dragoons out for G5 and 2 Reavers only in the defense.
Yeah, Doty's actually brought 2 Zealots now to tank hits, so he's going to go for it again. And these Zealots are actually really, really nice. They're going to draw the Scarabs away, prevent some splash damage, and also tank much better against the Goons as well. And here we go. This is probably going to be it here. I don't see how G5 can possibly hold here. The shuttle barely doesn't get there in time to actually pick up the Reavers, and GG from G5. Quick and easy. Doty takes the winner's match and advances 2-0 from the group.
Highly convincing play right there from Doty. He found himself in a bit of a curious build order position, but he... it was clean. It was really, really good. He got his gateway timing very, very nicely and was able to just so smoothly beat back G5's attack and then take up a nice position, really bide his time and get into the natural when it suited him. And that was just really, really smooth from him all around, I think.
I'm actually still trying to figure out what the best initial path of that Reaver should have been for G5, because if he'd gone straight up the wide ramp, I can't remember the exact goon numbers, but like if Doty had been waiting for him there, would he have been in a bad position anyway? Because you do still have to go up the ramp, so you're not sure. So I don't know. Maybe that's just not a good map for that build, going 2-gate goon Reaver, because it seems like I'm not sure exactly where what the best attack path is for the Reaver. It seems it's a little bit dubious. It
seems best to me to skip out one of the gateways if you're going to go for Reaver and get shuttle speed instead, because there are lots of harassment opportunities on the map. But because the perimeter of the main base is actually really, really big. There's a lot of room to get in and out, and it'd take quite a few Dragoons to properly defend that against a speed shuttle with Reaver. And in the natural as well, there's high ground right over the back right there, and there's water at the back, so there's no way Dragoons can go around and snipe the shuttle on its way home. So I think probably better to go for more of a harassment style play rather than a straight up Reaver bust, because as we can see, it can be really hard to make the timings work when you're fighting up a ramp against a guy who's got a good economy and a good Dragoon count behind him.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Or just straight up 2-gate Zealot.
Or do that. Or do that.
Which was your initial suggestion anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, that is that. Don't worry guys, G5 is not out yet. He will go on to the final match to play the winner of the upcoming match between Mad and Otzerg. See you guys in a bit.